Good afternoon, everyone. Parents, family members, community members, thank you so much for coming and supporting our students. It is through our community fellowship that we help students grow to the next level, and you get the privilege of seeing the excitement right in front of you today. My name is Kristen Brayson. I'm the Central Office Administrator that supports visual and performing arts education, so that's all of our dance, music, theater, and visual arts programs. It's so exciting to be in real, live, in person for the second year in a row now, if you can believe that. Yay! As you can imagine, teaching music, specifically choir and instrumental music online, was a bit of a challenge. But we struggled through it, and we made it to the other side, and here we are building programs back up again and doing things like this in person. Thank you so much for being here in support. Before I pass it on to my colleague, I just wanted to give gratitude to all of you. If you are a City of Portland resident, that means that you pay an arts tax every year. And that $35 that you pay, for a little plug here, it goes directly to teacher salaries. It doesn't go to anything else. It doesn't go to supplies, it doesn't go to startup costs, nothing else, teacher salaries. So, when you think about those K-5 students in our elementary schools that are receiving music and visual arts instruction, they are being paid for by arts tax dollars, and we're being able to see the fruits of that labor grow through our system, 6 through 12, which is what you're going to see on stage tonight. I think if I'm right, a kindergartner that started the first year of the arts tax is probably a 7th grader right now, or an 8th grader, I think 8th grader. So you're seeing some benefits right here on stage in the students that are performing. So again, gratitude to you for paying that tax and supporting arts education in our schools. I am going to turn it over to my colleague, the incomparable Laura Arthur, who is the coordinator of this event.
Thank you, Kristen. Like she said, I'm Laura Arthur. I serve as the K-12 music teacher on special assignment, and I work on the visual and performing arts team with Kristen. I support all of music education K-12, but in my heart, I was a middle school band teacher for many years before this role, and I ran our middle school honor band at my old job in my past life. And so I know the power of these kind of events. They changed my life when I was in school. When I went to my own high school honor band, I knew that I wanted to do this for the rest of my life. It changed the course of the direction of my whole path changed. So honor band, honor choir is amazing. And you're gonna hear incredible stories from your kids when they get home about the friends that they made, the experience that they've had, how much they've grown in an incredibly short amount of time. 6 hours yesterday and like maybe 2.5 today? What an accomplishment. Incredible, incredible work. Let's give it up for these kids. And all of that hard work could not have happened without their teachers. So if you are a high school band director, a high school choir director, or a middle school band director, would you please stand up and be recognized? And before we start the music, one tiny piece of logistics. You do not need to record today. We have a videographer here to record the concert, and it will be posted on the PPS YouTube in just a few days. So please just be present in the music, and you don't need to record because we've got that covered for you. So without further ado, I would like to introduce the PPS All-City High School Honor Choir and their director, Cody Raven-Morris.
Good evening, or know it's afternoon still, yeah? So I'm so weird when concerts happen in the daytime, as an evening person. I'm from the South, so we greet each other in call and response. Please repeat after me, good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's so exciting to be with you today. My name is Cody Raven Morris. I am the visiting professor of choir, music education, and social justice at Portland State University. That visiting part is, my position was created by a donor and a university match. We're on year 2 of 3, so we're crossing our fingers that Portland can become a community that I can stay in, because when I work with these students and I get to work with these university students, it is a blessing. There are beautiful things happening in Portland, and in a world that is looking at Portland and we look at our downtown and see destruction, I see opportunity for us to rebuild. So thank you for having me. Thank you so much. I have had a blast working with these students in less than the past 36 hours, and we have created this beautiful narrative around the program. We begin with a piece that is not actually written. I taught it to you right before rehearsal was out yesterday, which is called Big Ben. You will hear the Westminster clocks of the ding dong, ding dong. You'll hear all that together. And the narrative that they have created behind this program is our calling song. That's the song that brings all of us together and all of our unique different personalities. And then we go to the We Are the Music Makers. This will actually be the premiere of this piece now that it's published. I didn't tell you that, surprise. So anyway, I'm talking, so we're going to We Are the Music Makers by Reginald Wright, celebrating this art and this craft. And then we go to Rossini's I Gondolieri. We take you into the time of comic opera and how great it is to love your profession, to do what you do and to give to others and celebrate being the king of the sea. And then we go to Andrea Ramsey's Imaginary Creatures. All of these childlike things coming to life and what that feels like when it's real to us. But what happens when these unique things are at conflict? Our final piece, Monkeya, all of the text is made up, and they have created this very West Side Story narrative of what happens when all of these creatures and all of these unique different people find themselves in conflict, and who is the voice of reason. And what we decided is what if there was a world where we were all right, where all of our uniqueness, where all of our beauty, where all of these things could coexist together to create these beautiful harmonies that you will hear at the end of it. I hope that you enjoy this program. Soloists tonight include Zella Selvodad. Did I do it? Close enough. From Grant High School. Lucy Ferguson from Cleveland High School. Tonancine Ramirez from Cleveland High School. And Declan Bolada from Grant High School. Our poetry readers this afternoon include Elijah Tinker from Cleveland High School, Olin Davis from Grant High School, Mari Baker from Grant High School, and Nadia LeClaire from Cleveland High School. And at the piano, because she is grand and perfect, we have Cindy Mayer. Thank you so much for being here. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. happening? Ding dong, ding, wrap it up. Ding dong, ding dong. A note that I did not mention is the text for imaginary creatures was taken from real life children.
They have fairy dust and fairy friends and hair and arms and legs and little shoes. One week they wear the flats, one week they wear the high heels. They all eat in fairy cafe, lollipops, ice cream, and cupcakes, all sweet treats. And they do not eat broccoli.
Some people can't see them, but others can. My imaginary friend is named Fred. He has tan-colored skin, and he's very nice. He has golden hair. Fred can fly.
And every night, they spread magic across the land. And that night becomes a great night.
I always have to take advantage of these moments in front of wonderful people to acknowledge some different folks. I know we already acknowledge our educators, but we can't acknowledge them enough. Remember, people like me with up here with my professor job, watching me work with this group is like watching the person with the most fresh leg run the last lap of the Olympic race. The educators in this room ran it first. They convinced them to run it in the first place. Can we acknowledge our music educators one more time? Not because I'm trying to center myself, because I want to share a narrative about our students that a lot of us aren't saying. We're not talking about how the pandemic aged adolescent minds by 30%. That the stress that we have all endured in the pandemic did something to our brains in a world that was already disconnected and having struggles with miscommunication. One of the things that I love about our final piece, Monkeya, is though there are no words, we gave it meaning. And one of the things that our community needs is the opportunity to find common language amongst each other. When we know what we are talking about, then we can begin to have that conversation. And that love is a verb, and that begins with the conversation that we have, the thoughts that we have in our minds. And I have to advocate for what the community did for me with music education, that as someone who lived in my car for college and hopped middle school through high school, when people asked me how did I find myself out of houselessness, it was the community the choir made for me. At the job that I have at Portland State, when we talk about making a homeless choir, I like to say that it's not just choir that saves lives, it's community, it is us. We are the things that save us. There is no hero coming, we are the hero. Thank you so much for being here to support not just these students, but to fill your cup with music. I hope this afternoon, fills your cup as a reminder of your presence is an action, is the beginning of our use of verbs. Thank you so much, and we hope you enjoy.
A reminder for those of you who are joining us for the first time, we do have a recording happening that will be up on YouTube at the conclusion of the concert. Well, maybe give us some processing time. So you do not need to record, be in the moment, and you don't want to hear me talk, you want to hear them play. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming the All-City Middle School Honor Band and their director, Mr. Gene Burton.
Oh my goodness, we're here. It's time, everybody. It's so exciting. I have done honor bands for many, many years, and I think I've done Portland at least 4 or 5 times. And I have to tell you, this one is going to be one of the most memorable experiences I've ever had. These musicians in front of you have been over the top amazing to work with in just 6 hours. I knew right from the start it was going to be great, and we were going to be able to dig so deep into the music and really create a more emotional experience for you. You know, our topic, you know, during these last 6 hours dealt with communication and how we're going to communicate individually and collectively as a group, playing notes on a page and being able to create emotion. And so for us to be able to internalize what actually we were thinking about and intentionally being able to put those emotions into the notes that we're playing. You're probably thinking, how do you do that with middle school? They don't feel anything. But I have to tell you, this group is very mature. Very mature. And you might be disagreeing with me, but I'm going to tell you, the time that I had with them, oh my goodness. It was amazing. Amazing, and we'll talk about that a little bit as we go. The first tune we're going to do is a really fun march by Willie Owens. I got to meet him when I hired him for the All-State Honor Band in Eugene. Wonderful person to just talk to and watch work with students, middle school students. This is one of his favorite marches. When I follow him on Facebook, and he's like all over the country doing, you know, middle school honor bands, it seems like almost every other one, he has this tune, Excelsior March. We talked about, like, what do you feel when you play this tune and you hear this? And words came out like, you know, energy, excitement, triumphant, you know, fun, playful. And so we really hope that that comes out to you. His intention was for this just to be a rousing opener and a great march. And these students are going to really knock your socks off with it. So, thank you. between songs because we really need time for percussion to like reset for the next tune kind of thing. This next composition that we're going to be playing for you is really special. This is a premiere of this piece, as apparently the choir did one too. This is like the first time ever heard in public. How do I begin? It was written by a composer named Kenny Regan. Kenny Regan was a student at Beaumont Middle School. And he went through middle school as an oboist and also comes from a very musical family and was very musical, super smart about not just playing music but also composing it and be able to make stuff up on the fly. It was really great. High school was wonderful while he was there. Then he went into college, and I hired him at Northwest Band Camps, which was wonderful to have him as our oboe specialist. He's that kind of person that, it was the owner's birthday, and he put together this double reed ensemble where he wrote a piece, in like, I don't know, maybe an hour or two, worked with the double reeds on it, and they played it 2 days later for the owner for his birthday. It was just that kind of talent. And then I found out he was at USC and he was studying with Frank Kelly and some really great composers that we played from. And then realized just, I don't even know, probably 3 months ago, that he was taken up by a publishing company called Timberland. I believe that's it, Timberland Publishing Company. And he wrote Timberline music, okay. And he wrote his first middle school level band piece. And he said, what do you think, Gene, about this piece? And I love it. I love it. I said, we have to do this. And so we ended up getting the parts, but they weren't even like totally ready to go out. Got the parts, and we started rehearsing this, and we were able to FaceTime with Kenny during our rehearsal yesterday, which is super cool, because we were able to like talk to him about, the kids had great questions about, all kinds of, what was your inspiration for the piece, and all kinds of great questions like that. And he was able to actually hear the band play the piece. So it was like, with the delay and everything's like, not quite ready, but can you hear it? He was really impressed with what happened and what was going on. And so it was really fun to meet the composer. That's always a great experience for them to do that. So this one's called Starboat Venture. Now Kenny, right now, is working for a company where he is actually composing for video games. And he loves Star Trek. So those were some of his inspirations for this piece. But I want to read what he wrote. He wrote, prepare to boldly go where no man has gone before. This rousing fanfare allegro draws broad inspiration from the adventurous and trailblazing science fiction media of the 20th century. From console gaming to television serial epics designed to deliver maximum punch. Musicians will dazzle audiences with blazing trills, flashy rhythms, and gripping dynamic contrasts, all anchored by a prominent and heroic melody. Don't hold back. Activate the warp engines and let the voyage begin. It's exciting. Our next tune, we're going to slow down quite a bit with a ballad called The Hope of Tomorrow. It was written by an upcoming Japanese composer, Naoya Wada. And he did a clinic in Japan for an honor band, middle school. He did it with his really, really good friend and professional percussionist. His name was Hiroki Yama. And they were like best friends. I mean, just joined at the hip kind of thing. And 2018, they did this piece, or they didn't do this piece, but they were doing the clinic. And it was shortly after that he went home and got a phone call that his friend had passed away. And with a lot of remorse, he wrote this piece in honor of his friend. And there was an honor band clinic that he was actually the conductor of that did this piece for the first time in 2019. I didn't tell the kids that. I didn't tell the musicians that part of it. I just, we talked about the hope of tomorrow. We had listened to the piece, and it's like, individually communicating and collectively communicating, an emotion. What kinds of things come to your mind when you think about the hope of tomorrow, and also what they're playing? And so lots of really great ideas came from this group, just as in terms of like a flower opening up, in the morning, and just, that whole like hope for tomorrow, it's opened up, and then at nighttime it goes back, knowing that there's going to be hope for another day for that. Some people were in the mindset of just like feeling really, really sad, when you have those really bad days, but then there's that hope that tomorrow's going to be the next day. When you go to bed, it's like, you have that hope that tomorrow's going to be a better day. And there were all kinds of like really mature like feelings coming from this group. And so that was, I think, the catalyst for bringing out the emotion. It's really difficult when you're playing an instrument to be able to create an emotion for the audience to feel without words. And so in order for that to happen as musicians, we really have to have some kind of feeling of what we're playing to be able to portray that musically to you. And so individually, they have their internal like feelings of what the hope of tomorrow is for them. And we hope that emotion of what's inside of them and what they're contributing collectively and individually and collectively is going to touch you as well. So we hope you enjoy this. cannot say enough about how prepared these students were before they came to me. I mean, I had the fun job, to be able to work with them and make amazing music with them. But I know that the preparation happened way before I got here with the music educators that were out there in the middle schools. And I'd like to recognize once again all of those music educators in the middle school area, especially for all of the work they did to prepare the students. So could they stand up? I want them to be recognized if they're in the audience. I know they are. Or they're out doing something around the campus. They have been at every rehearsal just asking whatever was needed, and it was always done. And they took care of a lot of those minor little details that I never worried about. It was just always taken care of. And so that is really, really great. I want to thank Laura Arthur. I mean, my good friend Laura Arthur from way, way back. What a great organized event. I mean, from the day I walked in until now, it's just been like a well-oiled machine. And it was just flew. It was just flowed. The flow was wonderful. So give it up for Laura Arthur. And of course, this event wouldn't happen if we didn't have this facility, this wonderful facility to be able to play, perform, and do sectionals in. And Gary Ryler has been right there at our beck and call. So, Gary, thank you so much. I worked with Gary many, many years, way back when I was actually an active teacher in the Gresham Barlow district. And then, of course, Carl and Jenny from the Portland Repair Shop, for the PPS repair people that are there in the district office. Man, you guys have been busy. Jenny was here all day on Saturday and Friday, and Carl has been here all day today. And there's always been something to be fixed. Even up to right after we did our dress rehearsal, it's like there was a clarinet that needed to be literally majorly repaired. And so he was right there and fixed it. And so we can't thank you enough. You work so hard and you're always available. So can you give it up for Carl and Jenny? Parents, you are amazing. I just can't thank you enough, and I say this everywhere I go, about how much support that you have given for providing this experience for your children. I mean, these kids up here, young adults really, have been so mature, and I know that comes from great upbringing. I mean, they have been just super respectful and at times too quiet. And you know what? Not my kid, but I remember trying to get the projector going at one time, trying to get the FaceTime, and it was like, I thought, oh, this is going to be easy. The day before, it was going to work, and it's like, oh, when you connect. About 5 minutes later, I had somebody else just take it over. The whole time, the band was absolutely silent. Just like what's wrong with you guys? But it was super, super great. They have worked so hard in the last 6 hours. And I just want to thank you parents, first of all, for your support in, making them practice, getting that instrument, getting them into the band. And I want to thank these young musicians up here for probably one of the most memorable experiences I've ever had at PPS as an ensemble director. So thank you, parents, and give it up for the students. So, the last piece that we're doing is entitled Blue Sky Horizon. And Blue Sky Horizon, I gotta read this off of this, okay, so pardon me. Blue Sky Horizon was written by Randall Sanders. She was one of the All-State band director or clinicians for the middle school band last year. A wonderful person. But I didn't know that he was going through some really difficult times in mental health. And I don't know, it wasn't too many years ago, he wrote a piece called Unbroken. And he decided that this was going to be one of a series of pieces that he wrote to help him deal with the mental illness that he was going through. He created the Unbroken Project to deal with mental health struggles and specifically cyclical depression. What's that, you ask? In the words of the composer, it's a lot like clouds. Some days the sky is a little cloudy. Some days it is scattered and changes rapidly. And some days, or weeks, there are thunderstorms. But some days the sky is completely clear with feelings of energy and joy, feeling like I can take on the world. We know that not every day will be a good day, but we should make the most out of the ones that are. We talked about this as a group, about what's your perfect day? You know, what's your perfect great day? And they were able to like share things like that they were doing. And you could wake up in the morning and everything just went well. There was no line at the coffee shop. You know, I mean, for me, not for them. But, you know, or at the gas station. But anyway, the perfect day where everything goes great. And so we internalized that kind of feeling, and we're going to bring you joy on our perfect day called Blue Sky Horizon.
ensemble of the day. It's been a really incredible weekend. Thank you for sticking with us. And behind me is the All-City High School Honor Band. Let's give it up for them. They have had a wonderful weekend of music making with their director, who is currently the director of bands at Southern Oregon University. Please join me in welcoming Christine Lundahl.
Always a tuba player, right? All right, good afternoon and welcome. Thank you so much for being here and sticking through all of these concerts. It's wonderful to see so many people in the audience. Again, I'm Dr. Christine Lundahl, Director of Bands at Southern Oregon University, and it's truly a pleasure to be here in Portland with you all here today. I'm going to talk just a little bit about our very first piece that we're going to play. The composer, Just Langston Turner, writes, "When I began composing this, I knew that I wanted to write something that was fantastical in nature. A piece that would transport us into an imaginary land where anything is possible. I chose the title Through the Looking Glass because just as Alice's doorway to Wonderland was her looking glass, this fanfare is a doorway to a world of musical landscapes. Please enjoy Through the Looking Glass." able to successfully melt a diamond. When diamonds are heated to very high temperatures, they don't melt. They actually turn into graphite, which then melts. The extreme temperature and pressure used in this experiment are found on Neptune and Uranus, and scientists therefore believe that seas of liquid diamond are possible on these two planets. As the scientists were melting the diamonds, they saw floating shards of solid diamond forming in the pools, just like icebergs on our oceans. This alluring imagery provided inspiration for Diamond Tide, which utilizes the melting sounds of metallic water percussion and trombone glissandi throughout. Please enjoy Diamond Tide. that one. All right, so our next piece is by Julie Giroux, and she writes the following. Riften is a city in Skyrim located in the expansive world of Elder Scrolls. It's a video game, by the way, lots of fun. Skyrim is a beautiful world, from mountainous snowy regions to open tundra plains, seacoasts, beaches, thick woods, lakes, and hot spring-fed swamps. It is also a deadly world, torn apart by civil war and dragons who have resurfaced after thousands of years, not to mention the cult of vampires that are also threatening to take over the world. No big deal. Weddings in Skyrim are about survival as much as fondness or imagined love. In Skyrim, if so desired, your spouse can and will fight with you. Skyrim weddings are happening in the middle of a world full of violence, disease, war, and death, something Earth is all too familiar with. Riften Wed is the music for loves and unions, where till death do us part is not only a reality, it's a given. Where love is a gift worthy of all the joy and pain it demands. Please enjoy Riften Wed. more hand, please. From me. I did that piece with my college group last year, and the fact that I'm able to put this in front of them in less than 48 hours, the music that college students typically play, I am so incredibly impressed. So we're to our last piece, which means I need to give my thank yous, and for those that have been here for all 3 concerts, you're going to hear a few of the same thank yous, so I apologize for that. First of all, Laura, Arthur, and PPS for inviting me to this wonderful event and for all of the hard work that you do. Thank you so very much for putting on this incredible event. Thank you to Gary Ryler for using your space and equipment and for running around and doing all of the extra things in this wonderful hall. Thank you so much, Gary. So this here on stage wouldn't happen if there were not elementary, middle school, and high school music teachers that were teaching these incredible students. So if you are a music teacher at any level, if you teach lessons, anybody at all that is responsible for these students on stage, please stand up and let's applaud you as well. So very much. You make my job up here lots of fun and very easy. Thank you also, family and friends of these young people. You were around at the beginning in 6th grade band when it was just nothing but squeaks and honks, right? Do we remember those days? At home when you would let them practice maybe sometimes, or you would tell them maybe go play in the garage a little bit. This is your reward. You get to hear this incredible music today. So thank you so much to all the families out there for everything you've done. Next piece is called A Mother of a Revolution. It's written by Omar Thomas. It's a celebration of the bravery of trans women, and in particular, Marsha Pay It No Mind Johnson. Marsha is credited with being one of the instigators of the famous Stonewall Uprising of June 28, 1969, which is one of the pivotal events of the LGBTQ liberation movement of the 20th century. The disco vibe in the latter half of the piece is meant to honor club culture, a sacred space held amongst LGBTQ persons in which to love, live, mourn, heal, strategize, connect, disconnect, and dance in defiance of those outside forces who would seek to do them harm simply for daring to exist and take up space. We pump our fists to honor the life, heroism, activism, and bravery of Marsha P. Johnson, to honor the legacy of the Stonewall Revolution, and to honor the memory of the trans lives that violently ended due to fear and hatred, and in honor of the trans women worldwide who continue to exist unapologetically. Now, these students in front of you today, this morning, we got to have a conversation, and it was an incredible, I'm going to remember it forever. And we talked about protest music and the movements our country has held in order to make things better. And I asked them, in 2023, what are the kinds of things that we are protesting? What are the kinds of inequalities today that we are going through that your generation is experiencing? And I heard the following answers. I heard bodily autonomy, healthcare for all, climate change, menstrual stigma, Black Lives Matter, and everything in between. It was 5 minutes of them just raising their hands defiantly and just telling me all of the things that they are experiencing, that they want to make better in this world. And they are going to change the world for the better. I felt it in here, and these young people, this generation is an absolutely incredible generation. I'm honored to be standing here in front of these students today. So I finally want to thank the students on stage here for your trust, for what incredible young people you are, and for everything that you're going to do to change our world. So thank you so much to you as well. We are in very good hands in the future. Please enjoy Mother of a Revolution.